Hello everybody, welcome to this video. Time to do the Q&A now. So I've got a fair few questions actually, and I'm going to go through them. Links will be below in the description to all the channels, so you can go check them out because they're all fabulous people. And yeah, let's go through it. So first of all, from pancakepayney, what got you into the hobby and why? So long story short, it was a friend. But the slightly more interesting story, well, not really interesting, but what happened was, I think I was 7 or 8 maybe, I don't know, and the friend who lived opposite me, he played a lot of Dawn of War, and I went round to his house once, we played it, and I thought it looked very interesting, so that was my first bit into it. And he had a model which he just gave to me because I don't think he actually played the game, but yeah, I got a model from it, and then I went to what did I do? Went to the Games Workshop in my town, and bought some Corn Berserkers, which I thought were Blood Angels at the time, because I thought the Blood Angels looked really cool, but it turned out if it's red, it's not a Blood Angel. It was Corn Berserkers. So yeah, I made them up, never painted them, but I did make them, and then Assault on Black Reach came out, and I pre-ordered that, and got that made up. And I kept the Space Marines, made them into Ultramarines, which are absolutely atrocious. They've been sold now. They're basically just all blue with massive red eyes, about 4 times the size of a real eyes. And gave the orcs to my friend, and we collected massive armies, and we played a lot. We didn't really know the rules, so yeah, that was good fun. But yeah, we sort of messed around with them, and then I got some Imperial Guard to go with it, which I painted blue and white, so it was to fit in with the Ultramarines. And I had about 3,000 points altogether of Imperial Guard and Ultramarines. And then I sort of fell out of favour with it when I was, I think it was year 8, so that's about 12ish, and sold all my stuff, which was quite regrettable because I had a fair bit of it, including a Baneblade. And then I got into the Lord of the Rings, and I spent a ton of money on that, more money than I really should have, because it's all in the box right now, and it's in an absolute state. So yeah, and I used the money I got from selling my old Warhammer 40k stuff to buy the Hobbit box set, which still hasn't been painted. It's still in its box. God, I need to get my act together. And yeah, so I did the Hobbit, and then I got back into 40k again with Tau, and that's when, shortly after, well, this was long before I started my YouTube channel. So yeah, I got back into Tau again, and then got into Napoleonics thanks to Sharp, because I started watching Sharp and I found it was actually really good. So yeah, that's what got me back into Napoleon. Well, not back into. Got me into Napoleonics, and I found Perry miniatures, and started from there. And yeah, well, the next one of the later questions was I'll talk about how my YouTube channel started. So that's how I got into the hobby as a friend through Dawn of War, and that's a simplified answer. And next is from IDICBeer. What do your parents think of your hobby and YouTube channel? Well, actually, my parents are divorced, so yeah. So on my mum and stepdad's side, they're really enthusiastic about it. They really like it, and they support the YouTube channel a lot. They watch it, and that's cringy, but yeah, they watch it and they really like it. And my dad and his partner, they don't really care. They couldn't care less about the YouTube channel, and same about the hobby as well, because they've got completely different interests. But yeah, that's fair enough, because not everyone really likes the hobby. I mean, most people hate it. My girlfriend hates it, and so do most of my friends. They find it sad. And yeah, so that's what I think about the YouTube channel. And the hobby, again, I think I've already said about the hobby. Yeah, my dad don't care, my mum cares, but she don't really know what she's on about with it. So he's like, that looks nice, and then there we go. So it's not really like, never mind. Next question from Mammoth Painting Studio. Have you got a favourite hobby related book, like a Black Library novel or something? Well, I never actually... Well, sorry, I tell a lie. 1 second. The only Black Library book I have is this, Assault on Black Reaper novel, which I bought when I pre-ordered the game for like £5. And I haven't even read that, so I haven't really read too many 40k books, Black Library, because they're massive books and I read awful lot more. But my favourite sort of hobby-related book will have to be something Napoleonic, and it would have to be Sharp, because I really enjoy Sharp. It's a great series. I've got most of the books, watched all the TV programmes and segments, and yeah, so that's probably what my favourite... It's not really hobby-related, is it? But yeah, probably Sharp, because that's what actually got me into Napoleonics. So, sorry, I don't read an awful lot of Black Library, don't really have the time, and most of the history of 40k actually annoys me. It's really confusing, and I can't really get myself into it very often. Which is why I got the Brit Marines, because it's just sort of like combining two things that I like history and the 40k models. So, how long do you spend wargaming from Waterloo 745? I haven't actually played a game since October last year. I don't have time to play games, and most of the people I know don't play Warhammer and that. So the last time I played 40k was in the store with the shop owner, and I got thrashed. And yeah, that was sometime last year, and never played a game. Well, I played like a very small game of Black Powder, like with just a few battalions either side and some cavalry, and it wasn't exactly fun. But that's why I'm gonna wait until I've got the main divisions done, because it is a nice game, but obviously you need massive like armies to do it, and I didn't really have that at the time, and I still don't really have it now because I've made like no progress at all. 1938, very British Civil War. I have had like a little game. It's not really like a massive game, that was just sort of like test the rules out, because I did something really sad and actually played it by myself. Yeah, because I just wanted to see how the game mechanics worked and that. But yeah, it seems like a pretty good game. It'll be even better when you've got like, because it works on a system of cards and initiative, which is I quite like. That's wargaming. I haven't played a game in ages, and I really should. Next is from Tabletop Banter. First of all, I got your bike. He looks fantastic. He looks he looks beautiful, really. He's going to fit in really nicely. I need to actually like redo some of the Brit Marines, because some of them are atrocious. So I'll do a video with the rest of them at some point. I don't know when. But so Tabletop Banter says, good luck with the exams, and what inspired you to take your hobby to YouTube? Smiley face. And what inspired me to take my hobby to YouTube was a YouTube channel called The Historical Wargamer. I think that was his name anyway. I'll leave a link in the description. And he did a video a few years ago saying about the lack of videos about historical wargaming. And back then I thought it was like very niche, like a very niche community, very small. And it really isn't. It's massive. And yeah, he was talking about how most of the YouTube channel is about 40k. And I thought I would just put my 2 pence worth in and do some Napoleonics, because I literally thought that barely anyone did it, and how wrong was I? There are so many people that do Napoleonics, and that's really good. So yeah, that's where I started doing that. If you watch my first Black Powder update from 2 years ago, don't watch it. It's really bad. My voice, I sound like a mouse, and the painting is awful. But yeah, I started that. That's what I started my YouTube channel for. And I just sort of branched out from there. I showed up a Tau army, my Lord of the Rings armies. And yeah, don't watch those early videos. You're probably going to know. But don't, please. They're bad. Yeah, thanks for the question. That's a good... Next is TA24U. Where do you see yourself in the hobby this time next year? New models, army, maybe a new game. Well, let's first of all look back at what I've done over the past year. Some guards, some space marines, and the Polish Vistula Legion. That's 3 things. I've done nothing. I'm a disappointment. But yeah, I've got my D.V going on now, so I basically have to do more progress. I have to do at least an hour a week of painting, which I've been mostly keeping up to. And so hopefully this time next year I should have much more painted up. And as for new armies, I suppose I'm starting Prussians really, because I got some Prussians for Christmas, Napoleonic Prussians, and some Landwehr. So I suppose that's kind of a new army, even if it is just a 1 battalion. And maybe a new game. I've got so much games going on. What? Lord of the Rings, 40k, 1938, A Very British Civil War, and what was the other one? Black Powder. And I think that's it. I don't know. Oh, and also kind of Bolt Action, because I've got some Dad's Army figures down there, which I would quite like to make a Home Guard army. So, new models. I've got a ton of new models, which piles of them. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8 boxes of Napoleonic British Line Infantry, about 5 of French. I really need to get some models done. But yeah, tons of new models which I actually need to get made up and that. A new army, kind of Prussians, maybe a new game, Bolt Action with Dad's Army. So yeah, this time next year I should have a little bit more done maybe. Maybe a few more battalions and a few extra men. So going on to the last question from Jorge Arnold, who actually did my the channel art for my YouTube page with the Very British YouTube channel and that, which is very thankful for. Thanks, mate. And his comment is, best of luck with your exams, thanks. I've actually got my exam timetable now, and they start on the 13th of May. So, and they end on the 24th of June, which is 5 days until I go to London, and 6 days before I go to the Somme, because we entered the lottery to win tickets to the centenary of the Battle of the Somme, and we actually won. So I'm going to the Somme on the 1st of July for the centenary celebrations, which should be interesting. Anyway, best of luck with your exams. I still have a little while before I do mine. Yeah, it's going to get much harder for you. We've heard about the whole new specs and that. You've got to do like loads more papers. So I'm the lucky one. My question is, do you think you shall be starting any new hobbies early this year or next? Huzzah. New hobbies. I don't really have time for any new hobbies. I'm a bit of yeah, I mean, wargaming is basically one of my only hobbies. I do reading, because I'm sad. And, but yeah, wargaming is basically my own hobby. I suppose I do a bit of go-karting, actually. Because, that's my other hobby. But, yeah, basically no other hobbies. It's just wargaming and a little bit of go-karting every now and then. So, thanks for all your questions. It's been good. I didn't expect that many, actually. And hopefully you know a little bit more about me now. And anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.